Welcome to the Motormouth YouTube channel. I'm Zach.
I'm Andrea.
And we're up to questions, coffee, and cars number 170.
Yeah.
30 away from 200.
I know. We've done a lot of these.
All right. So if you don't know, how do you get a question in?
Follow along on Instagram at motormouth_Andrea. Every Sunday morning, I put a post out asking for questions. Once we gather them, the post is deleted and we start the show.
Time now for questions, coffee, and cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
Hi from beautiful Victoria, BC. Just wondering if the RAV4 Hybrid might become easier to buy here in Canada, more availability and selection, now that tariffs apply to the vehicle when it goes into the U.S. Same with other vehicles made in Canada. Can we all buy Canadian to help our auto sector?
Well, we spoke to a senior executive, and he told me that there's not going to be a lot of changes with the RAV4 when it comes to what they're doing. The indication I got from Toyota is that they did front load. I think they tried to get as many RAV4s as they could into the U.S. before anything happened. And then there is an opportunity maybe to make slightly more Canadian vehicles, but they have all plans and allocations, and they're not going to stop making them. They're just going to have to deal with whatever the tariffs are.
That's it. Will they be easier to get in Canada? Possibly. There may be more inventory for you for sure. Reuters is reporting actually that the RAV4 Hybrid in the U.S. is so popular that there's actually a wait for it right now. There was someone who went to buy it, a 2025 model, and there's a 1 month wait, which isn't
nothing.
Too bad, right?
Welcome to come to Canada is like a year and a half.
But before they were sitting on the lot. So it has changed there a bit, and they become very popular.
What happened was, because of all this tariff stuff, people who were sitting on the fence and said, maybe I need a new car. Exactly. In March, there was a massive surge of sales. But what they've done is they've just brought forward a bunch of sales. From what I understand from Toyota, they basically said nothing changes for them. Mm-hmm. They're continuing to run their cars through the factory and sell them in Canada, the U.S., and I'm pretty sure some will go to Mexico. Yeah. And then they have plans for the new one. It's going to start production in the fall. Mm-hmm. It's going to be introduced the end of this year. So they're not stopping.
No.
It's full steam ahead.
Full steam ahead for the RAV4, whether it's the 2025 model or the 2026 model. Been a long-time listener and love the show. I'm in the market for a family hauler and looking at the Toyota Sienna or Kia Carnival hybrid. We've owned Toyotas in the past and like them due to the reliability, but there isn't much availability where I live, and they're more expensive. 3-2-1 between the two. Do you want to talk about it first, or do we want to just do a 3-2-1?
No, let's just do a 3-2-1. You ready?
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
The one you can get.
I was going to say the Carnival hybrid because you can get it. Zach and I drove the Carnival hybrid. It's great. We really enjoyed it. It has a beautiful interior, depending on the trim you get. But the Sienna is just too hard to get. And I've asked Toyota.
I think is how you say it.
Yeah, and I've asked Toyota about that. And they say, they just aren't producing enough of that.
Yeah, and they just have more demand than there is. And the thing, the price of minivans.
Crazy.
Like, I just look at the price of minivans. So it just boggles my mind how much. I remember in 08-09 when the financial crisis hit, Chrysler was selling the minivan or the Dodge Caravan or Grand Caravan. They were selling it for, I think it was like $16,000.
Crazy.
You think about that, right? That's 15 years ago.
But
or more, closer to 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now they're all 40,000 plus.
The Carnival is priced really well, so you're going to get a lot of value there, features versus price points. So I would probably just go for that because who knows how long the wait time will be for the Sienna hybrid. My 2023 Honda CR-V hybrid VIN number starts with a 7, but I keep seeing that they are built in North America. Do you know if they're building them elsewhere?
Most of them, from what I understand, are made in Ontario.
Yes, so there are some, I guess, U.S. ones that are. I actually found this on Car and Driver, who spoke to Honda USA. And if your VIN number starts with a 7, it is made in the U.S. And it's made at the...
There's so many factories.
Yeah, it's made at the Indiana plant. Mm-hmm. Now, if it starts with a 2, it's made in Canada. So that's what they're reporting. That's what we're going with.
Yeah, so we're closer, obviously, to knowing that it's made in Canada because it's a big production facility here. But yeah, it's the same with the RAV4. RAV4, for most of its production, comes from Canada, and I would say about 20% are American made, and then the rest come from Japan, the specialty ones.
Love your show. I'm looking for a high mileage, subcompact, compact SUV with very high safety standards. I understand a lot of times safety features are accounted for during the safety ratings, but I want to know specifically about the best SUVs with high crash safety ratings.
Okay, so you're talking about a subcompact SUV?
He said compact too.
I would just go and get a Crosstrek.
Yeah.
A Subaru Crosstrek.
Yeah.
I mean, it comes standard with the advanced safety features, the cameras, and they're year after year they always rate so highly, and it's got good fuel economy.
Yes. So for 2025, I mean, you're looking for one that is obviously an older model, but these are the ones.
Well, they're looking for used.
Well, it says just something with high mileage. So
No, they mean good fuel economy.
Oh, good fuel economy.
Yeah. See,
so
the thing is, it's opposite. I just want to say quickly.
Yeah.
It's opposite in Canada. If you ever watch our reviews and we do liters per 100 kilometers, the lower the number, the better for fuel economy.
Yeah.
And in the United States, the higher the number, the better fuel economy.
Yes.
So more miles per gallon, which is what he's talking
Okay,
about.
I thought you were looking at something with
No.
higher mileage. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration gave some 2025 models top marks. They include the Honda HR-V, the Hyundai Tucson and Kona, Lexus NX, the Mazda CX-30 and CX-50, and the Subaru Forester.
The thing with the NTSA is I don't think they test every car every year. But yes, I would have no hesitation if you wanted to have a subcompact, good fuel economy, small crossover that comes baked in with all of the latest safety stuff and has proven year after year to be safe. I would say a Crosstrek.
Hi there, which premium PHEV SUV is the best buy? X5, GLE, or XC90?
I like the X5.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. I just
we
like
should have done
the
a 3, 2, 1,
X5.
Andrea.
Well,
You
we
wanna
missed it.
Let's do it. 3, 2, 1.
X5. But I have to say that the GLE plug-in hybrid that
Was
we
very
drove
good.
was very good. And we drove the Volvo XC90 plug-in hybrid, which is also very
Getting there.
good.
It's getting there.
Yeah, we were quite happy with it. The X5 now has more range. The GLE has more range.
When they first came to market, those two, they had like no range, and they were heavier. And when the range died, which was quickly, then they were worse when it came to fuel economy. So with a PHEV, you really kind of have to be committed to plugging it in every chance you get and using the electric system as often as possible, because they are bigger, they are heavier, and when the battery is depleted, they actually end up using more fuel. And there's been lots of studies on this.
Yeah.
So you got to go in there knowing you got to be committed.
You know, you've got a heavier battery in that model versus that traditional hybrid. I just like the look of the X5. I like the driving dynamics. It's just the one I would choose.
We're
as
big
well.
fans of the X5. Like
We
we're
really
sitting in a
are.
Porsche Cayenne.
Yeah.
We like our Porsche Cayenne, but this isn't the current model.
No.
This is the last generation. And if we were to buy a replacement vehicle for this today, I don't think I would buy another Cayenne. I don't like the latest one as much as this one. This is why we're not getting rid of it.
Yeah.
And we were over at a friend's house for dinner on the weekend, and they are looking to buy an X5. And he spit back at me in my own line. If I was going to buy a vehicle in that class right now, it would be the X5.
Same. I think that BMW's done a nice job. They haven't ruined it.
Yeah, they haven't
Yet.
ruined it. Yeah.
I like the exterior design and I like the interior. I do like the Porsche exterior design. There's just elements of the interior that I'm not crazy about. Handles well, of course.
Yeah, it's
a Porsche. Toyota Grand Highlander Hybrid Max Platinum or Lexus TX350. Can't drive the Toyota, none on the lot. Lexus dealership had 12 TXs ready to go. Interestingly enough, we were talking to Lexus. They've opened up this really unique place actually down in by Metrotown Mall in Vancouver, which is in Burnaby. And it's supposed to be this environment where you walk in and you talk to people, no pressure. You go
Yeah, they're
in.
not salespeople,
No,
they're information people.
and they're all electrified vehicles in there. But if you came in and you wanted to talk about a gas model, they're obviously going to talk to you about it, but they've got a bar set up. They've got it, they're trying to make it more of a lead generation. And we enjoyed getting the tour. And then what they do is then they take those leads and they give it to the dealership. And then the dealership follows up with people. And we were talking to the person who basically is in charge of all that. And he said when the TX came out, he said, I didn't think it would sell. He said, we can't keep them in stock, and that's because you can't get the Grand Highlander.
Exactly. People are, they're looking at the top level Grand Highlander going, okay, honey, we can't get it, but we'll take the Lexus. Here's the thing. We did a review of the Grand Highlander and the TX. In our opinion, the Grand Highlander is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
If you can get the top Hybrid Max Grand Highlander, that's the one you want. The 350 is just the regular gas of the TX. And there's not much in it on the inside either. There's not a huge gulf between the Lexus and Toyota top trim and bottom trim. So get the Grand Highlander. I know it's frustrating.
I know. It's very difficult to get, and I know you can't drive one, but put a deposit on it. Make sure it's refundable, just in case you don't like the vehicle. But I understand why you would want to move to the TX right now, because you can get one. So that's all about budget for you. And do you want to drive a Lexus or do you want to drive a Toyota? We like that Grand Highlander Hybrid Max.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Hands down the Grand Highlander.
Hands down. Hi there. I love your channel. Thanks for all your great work and content. Thank you. I currently drive a 2024 Kia Seltos SX. I love the car, but I'm wanting something bigger, more substantial. I'm considering a used 2022 to 2024 Genesis GV70 2.5 Sport Prestige. What are your overall thoughts of the car? Have your viewers commented on their overall experience with Genesis and reliability, maintenance costs?
Well, the good thing is it's still under warranty. It comes with a 5-year warranty. And then if you buy it, it's from the Genesis store or the outlet, whomever's selling it, see if it qualifies for certified pre-owned warranty. So the good news is you should be able to get at least 2 more years. So that would bring you up to 4 years, which is similar to what you get with any other brand new car. So that's what I would try to do. And it's Matt, you're going from a Seltos to a GV70?
You'd be shocked.
You'd be shocked.
By how it handles.
By how it handles.
And just a beautiful interior.
Just a beautiful interior.
Every person, and they'll chime in on this, and please chime in. Let this viewer know who owns a GV70 is absolutely thrilled with it. They love it. So I would have no problem, no hesitation recommending a GV70. We're going to be driving the updated model
in a few weeks.
So we look forward to that.
So my advice is still there. Please, if you're concerned about this, the car still has warranty. That's good.
Yep.
See if you can get the dealer to kick in the CPO and extend it. And then that way you can sleep well.
Mama 4, tired of people moving in vans and large SUVs. I get that. Should I treat myself to a Macan or be responsible with an MDX or Honda Pilot or other 3-row SUVs? Soon, 2 kids away at university and only 2 at home. Most of the driving is to kids' sports drop-offs as I work from home.
As much as we love the Macan, it wouldn't be my choice for putting anybody in the back seat. It's way too small. I would just say, I agree with you. Like, our kids are 22 and 20, and it's very rare that we're ever in the car with them anymore. And you've got 2 going away to university. So you need to basically have something. The only problem you have if you get rid of the 3-row is when they're all back during the holidays.
And they come back.
And you need to go. And they never leave. They go to university, but then they come back.
They come back.
And so, yeah, you've got to always think that there will be times where you need to get everybody in the car to go to grandma's for dinner or whatever it is. So think about that. Or if they're old enough now, you can take 2 cars. They probably drive their own car.
But if you want to do, a full family trip and you want everybody to fit, this would be my suggestion.
I wanna
First
hear
off,
it.
my first instinct is like, you go girl, you get that Macan because you deserve it after all these years. However, it is small and
too
it's not
small.
going to accommodate your family, even your other 2 kids. The rear
It's too
seat is small.
That's torture back there.
Torture. So how about this? Obviously, you can afford a Porsche. Why don't you just get something fun as a second vehicle on the side for yourself, like a Mazda Miata? How about that?
I would say
Not
if you
too
wanted
much.
if you wanted to do an all-in-one, and you could go one class up and get a Cayenne, even though we said we like the X5 better.
Yeah,
Or get the X5 or get the X3. I think really the sweet spot is the X3. That's a fun car. It's very well made. It's had very good reliability scores, and it has a big enough back seat so when you have to take kids in the back, you'll be just fine. And then if you need a second car to get to grandma's house for dinner on a Sunday or whatever it is, you might just have to take 2 cars.
You might just have to take 2 cars, but you had mentioned the Acura MDX or the Honda Pilot. I think if you are going to choose between those 2, I would go MDX. It just adds that bit more luxury, and the newer model doesn't have the trackpad anymore, and it really handles quite well.
If you're on your own, if you're empty nesters, kids have totally left.
Yeah.
Like they're gone and they're on doing their own thing and they're starting their lives away from the family, then you get the Macan. But right now, that's no fun sitting back there.
Or keep what you have and just get yourself a fun car when they're not with
A little
you.
something on the side.
Little
Andrea
something,
wants a
something.
little MX-5 Miata. By the way, speaking of MX-5 Miatas, Ruby came out yesterday
Ruby's out.
from her hibernation.
Yeah. It's got the insurance on it.
Still spotless because I cleaned that thing
You
up
did.
like a new penny when I put it in the garage. And it started right up,
Yeah.
pulled it out, took it for a drive. Everything's fine.
We love her.
Ruby's back in service for the summer of 2025.
Yeah. I always wonder who shoots the video bits of highway driving acceleration scenes in your car review videos. When we do the car to car, I drive the press vehicle and Zach drives this vehicle, and we put a camera on the vehicle.
Yeah, and it's a new camera that actually has tracking function. So the nice thing is I don't have to play with my phone at all or anything. I just drive and I set the camera up and I put a square around. You can't see the square, but there's a square around the car. So if the car changes lanes, the camera tracks it and then it tracks it back. So this technology, this tracking has been a life changer for me as trying to get the shots. And we sit there on the side of the road waiting. There's no cars. Okay, let's go now.
Go.
And the biggest bugaboo is if you pair your phone to Android or Apple, and then the other person's phone, the car is close enough, then we're trying to call each other on the phone because we're talking on the phone hands-free. And then all of a sudden that phone call to me comes through my, and it's like, so what we've decided is now we wear earbuds.
We wear earbuds, and sometimes on the way back, I'll call my mom for a quick chat, and then Zach's getting the call because it thinks I'm connected to the other
because
vehicle.
if I pull in behind her, all of a sudden the phone connects to this car.
Or he hears my music, or vice versa,
Yeah, I
or
get to
something
hear
goes
Andrea's
dead.
playlist again. So it's taken a long time to perfect all of that. It took some time. But now we got a system.
And we're good at it. We're
Got a
good at
system.
it. So
Andrea is the
easy.
stunt driver.
I'm the stunt driver. I love it. I love it. I know you've said the Crown Signia is very Lexus-like. I've been comparing it to the Lexus NX 350h, which seems to get more safety features. I'd love to hear yours and Zach's take on comparing the two. So,
It comes down to what you want. One is more like a
Yeah.
wagon, one is more like a traditional SUV.
first off, I don't know if you're putting it in a garage, but the Signia is 10 inches longer than the NX. Like it's quite long, so that could be an issue. Width is about the same, but
power's about the same.
Power's about the same. The Signia offers more front and rear seat legroom. But the NX offers more ground clearance, which some like, 8.1 inches versus the Signia at 6.7 inches.
Yeah, and one you're going to sit up a little higher.
Yeah.
because it's got the more of a regular upright, what they call a greenhouse. So you really have to come down to, do you want a traditional sort of crossover shape where you sit up looking over, or do you want something that's more wagony where you sit down and you're a little lower in the cabin? So there's no wrong answer. And I think it comes back to, you know, maybe get the one you can get. Because they're hard to come by.
They're hard to come by.
And you know what's interesting though? As much as we love the Signia, we've done several reviews of it. We chose it as one of our top 10 vehicles of the year. I haven't seen one on the road.
I actually saw two.
I haven't seen one.
So I saw one in white and then one in black, but that's it. I've only seen two.
There you go. All right, so we are up against the clock here, Andrea. How do you get a question in?
Follow along on Instagram at motormouth_Andrea. Every Sunday morning, I put a post out asking for questions. Once we gather our questions, the post is deleted and we start the show.
Talk to you later.
Thanks for watching.